House Armed Services Committee member and Georgia Congressman Rich McCormick. So, Congressman, I mean, you worked directly with the White House, your counterparts in the Senate to get this all done. Did you get everything you wanted out of the one big, beautiful bill?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, I'm very concerned about our debt still. I'm very concerned about a lot of things, but quite frankly, I'm super proud of this body. At 9 o'clock in the morning, we met with the speaker. This bill was dead. That same day we got it signed or delivered, we thought that this was over. There were probably about 30 people who were going to vote no on the rule, which is unheard of. We were very disappointed. We were concerned about the future. And it took so much convincing by the president, by the speaker, by leadership to get us there. I'm very proud of what the body was able to come up with and a bigger, longer strategic plan into the future. Not a whole lot of promises because we don't believe in those anymore, but we do have a plan. And I think this is a really good first step.
Congressman, can you give us specifics about how this new law will improve the quality of life of service members?
Yeah, this is one of the greatest things. If you go to the barracks, I just was at Camp Lejeune and looking around at some of the old barracks, horrible stuff. We always laugh about it. We always thought it was funny, but it's not funny when you live there. It's a hardship, and especially when you have families, when you have your wife and your kids living in dilapidated living spaces, it's not good for morale. It's not good for re-enlistment. We took care of that in big ways. We're going to make sure the quality of life is better. And quite frankly, even the facilities that you live on ships, making sure we have the right amphibs, making sure the ships are in good working order so that when you go out to sea, you feel ready and you have the actual ability to relieve other people who are out there so your deployments aren't extended. These things are all essential to the way we look at the military, the way the military perceives us supporting them. They do the real hard lifting, not just the military members, but their families too. My hat's off to all those men and women who support men and women who are in the military, because that's one of the hardest jobs there is.
Yeah, Congressman. I mean, obviously, you were a Marine and naval aviator, if I recall correctly. And at the same time, you guys are going through all of these negotiations on Capitol Hill. We actually saw American aviators, military pilots, do something dramatic. They obviously launched that successful attack against Iran. It shows what the investment in the military gives America that no other country has. Did that actually help ease some of these votes also when it came to increasing spending for our military at a time when we have massive deficits?
I'm going to surprise you on this one. I don't think that made a big difference. Most people understood we had to invest more in the military. This is the lowest GDP investment we've done in the military since post-World War II. We're at an all-time low. People are like, oh, you spend too much on the military. Realize we're actually woefully behind where we traditionally have been, and China's kicking our butt. They're ahead of us in several technologies that could really be strategically and tactically disadvantageous to us, especially if they go after Taiwan. I don't want to go head-to-head with any nuclear power, but I want to make sure we have strategic deterrence through strength. And the president understands that. Congress understands that. This is an all-important investment. If you don't look strong, you will go to war. And that's what we've seen historically.
Yeah. And we saw how the Iron Dome protected Israel. And now we've heard a lot about the Golden Dome in the United States. Any thoughts about how that will actually get implemented and when we will see it happen?
Well, let me be honest with you again. I'm going to shock some people because people don't realize how this works. A Golden Dome cannot protect you in a head-to-head against China or Russia. There's too many missiles. Those things come back in the stratosphere at Mach 15. It's over. First of all, we're going to make sure that people understand that we're working to not go to war. We're not war hawks. We're not trying to get into wars. But you want to have a strategic deterrence. I think the Golden Dome is better against smaller countries like North Korea and Iran, who truly cannot be trusted with nuclear weapons, something that's going to take out a few nuclear weapons. But anybody who thinks it's going to stop thousands, that's just not realistic. We got to make sure that we are strong, that we are smart, that we enter into good deliberations before we go to war. As a guy who has 3 sons that can go in the Marines today, this is very important and first and foremost on the president's mind. But when we talk about a Golden Dome, that's a very strategically and tactically important question to discuss. And I have a lot of ideas that I think would bore you guys, but are very important to consider.
We find it interesting.
We'll have to do that at some other time, Congressman, but I look forward to that conversation. Congressman Rich McCormick, thanks for joining us this morning. And have a great
Semper
4th.
Fidelis, and happy 4th.
Absolutely, you too.
Information. Truth is freedom. is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.